So today I'm back. We're gonna go through some troubleshooting of your brake system, your ABS system. Let's say for example your ABS light is on, your handbrake light is on, your slip light is on. So those are the three things that's gonna be on in your dash, okay? So for in that case, you're gonna need a computer or we say a scanner, okay, to diagnose the problem. Because all you have to do is to install a scanner on your OBD2 connection, which is from 2006 and up, is the same connection. Okay, so this will read the system and it could narrow your problem, or it could tell you which wheel is giving you the problem, left wheel front or right wheel front or rear or whatever. Okay, so what this is going to be do, you're going to put this on, you're going to go through the system, and not everyone you're going to have that. The normal people at home couldn't have one of this for diagnostic, because this you could do a live data test. You can do a test drive with it, so it could help you to check the wheel that is not reading. Okay, so if you go on a live data test, it's going to see which wheel is working or which wheel is not working. So you can narrow your problem and you can go to the individual wheel that is causing the problem. Or if the wheels doesn't read anything from the wheel, or you're going to tell you a solenoid or something is wrong. So, okay, for example, if you have a solenoid problem, which the solenoid is in this module, so we'll have to replace it. Okay, we'll have to replace this unit, because this is the computer here, this is the module, and the solenoid is what controlling your braking for each individual wheel. Okay, so for someone at home who doesn't have a scanner, okay, so the way that you're going to be checking your ABS, because most time your ABS could be from your sensor is defective, or you don't have voltage coming to your sensor from your module. Usually this is a 48 pin connection here. So what you have a harness that come here with each sensor that connect to this, the harness. Then you have the sensor, the power, the ground, and then you have the wire that goes back to your computer, the ECM, the main ECM, and then you have all the other wires from this module come here. So there's a lot of wire you have to check. Okay, so for someone at home who don't have a computer, you need a multimeter. You have to familiar yourself to use a multimeter. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is going to take some time, because with the computer we can go in the system very fast and see the problem. But if you don't have one, you will have to jack up your car, probably take the wheel out so you can get access to your connection, your plug. Because for this one have a long wire that goes on the frame, and then it's connect from a connection to come to connect here to the sensor. So it's the same thing, that some sensor the wire is close to the hub. Okay, so it's better for you to take your wheel out. So you have to take all four wheel out, but what you're going to be doing, you're going to be checking them one at a time. So what you're going to be looking for with your multimeter, you're going to put it at voltage. Okay, so the connection that comes from your module, you're going to check your voltage. You're supposed to have 12 volt from your module, the one that connects to your ABS sensor. Okay, if there's 12 volt, then what you're going to be doing, you're going to be checking your resistance from the sensor itself when it's not connected, like how I have it in my hand here, because it's not connected to the module, because I don't have a connection for that. So you put it tester and one out of these two pins, and you check the resistance. Okay, then what you're gonna do, you can turn the hub, see if you can turn the hub and see if you see any changes. Because when you turn it, your resistance is gonna change. Okay, so if you have resistance there, then you go to the other wheel, the three other wheel, and you do them one by one. So for example, if you have a reading and you don't have reading in one, you check for the power, 12 volt, and then you check for the resistance. Okay, so now for example you have no resistance from the bearing, then you know that this bearing is faulty. And you have 12 volt. 12 volt is good. For example, you have the resistance here, but then you don't have any 12 volt is coming. So then you have to check now if your wire from the module here is broken, because sometimes wire can be broken, or you disconnect the connector and see that if you don't have any corrosion, okay, in those pin, the male pin or the female, make sure that there is no rust or water getting inside and it's preventing the voltage from coming out. So that's one way you could try to narrow your problem, because you don't have a computer. Okay, because sometimes you have a computer and it's still, when it's come to the troubleshooting part, you have to check it. The computer won't tell you exactly where to find the problem, but it just narrow the problem, so you still have to go and look to find the problem, find the short or where the wire broken, or you know. So that's the only thing your computer don't do for you. You have to do that yourself. Okay, so you're going to be looking for rust on the connection here, because there's 48 wires that coming out from here, which is sending signal back and forth to your sensor, sending signal to your ABS mod computer, and then to the other computer, which is the PCM. Okay, so there's a lot of wire there. So the first thing you're going to be checking, you can check your fuse, make sure that you have voltage, because remember that you're not getting any voltage coming out from this wire. So now you have to do the troubleshooting and see why this wire have no voltage. Then you'll have to check your you'll have to get a wire diagram. Maybe you can get it off YouTube, something like that, to see, or you can go to a dealer and they could give you a wire diagram for your car, your system, the ABS system. So now you have to see which pins the wire is coming from on the wheel that is giving problem, and then you will look for that number and you check the wire there. So you disconnect the connector from the module and you try to see the number that correspond with your ABS. Let's say your left front, okay? That the wire correspond to your left front. So now you're gonna check for continuity, that if the wire is broken or it's not broken from here to the connection. So if you establish that the wire is not broken, then you know that you're not getting the signal out from your module, it's not sending the signal out. So you will have to replace it. But you'll have to check your fuse, you'll have to check everything else and make sure that your ground is there, your power is there. And for example, if you check your wire from the sensor to the connection, and for example one is good and the other one is broken, then you have to find the wire that is broken and replace it. But sometimes the wires in so many different places, you will have to maybe put a wire direct or something like that. Okay, so that is the way that you troubleshoot your ABS system. Okay, a lot of new cars now, especially with parking assist, your scanner is the best tool for that. Because most parking assists, when you change, let's say for example, you could bleed your ABS brake with your scanner. You don't need no one to help you. That's where the electronic parts are coming very handy. You could do all your bleeding. If you have parking assist, you could do your rear brake, that because with the old system that you'll have to turn the caliper in. But when you're doing with the new system, the parking assist, you take the computer and the computer will taking back the caliper out, and then when you finish, you just go in the computer and you just adjust it. So everything is done by the computer. You don't have to do anything manually. It's very simple system. But only when this system start to give you problem, then you're gonna have some issue of troubleshooting and some electrical problem. When you have electrical problem, then you're gonna be, get into some real work, because the rust and dirt, wire corrosion, and it takes some time to find the problem. That's the electrical problem. And the computer can only lead you to the direction where the problem is, but you have to find the problem to see the wire broken or stuff like that. Okay, so if you have a code for a solenoid, let's say example, you put the scanner and they say there's a solenoid A, B, C, or D, or what number they have it in. It's no good, so you have to change the complete unit, because the solenoid are inside of this, and the solenoid is the one that's controlling your braking. And sometimes the connection in there is no good, or your solenoid stuck, or your solenoid not opening. Okay, and there's one more thing I have to mention, that this is a master cylinder, and for example, if you find your brake pedal is soft down to the floor, you check your fluid is fine, then you will have to replace this guy, because this is the one that gives everyone the pressure, the brake fluid. Because the brake fluid, when you match this, it's pressurized, it's pushed stuff out to hold the wheel together. Okay, so, and if you find, and a way to know that if this one is bad, if you don't have a leak, you have to establish that there is no leak in your ABS system or your braking system. That's why you check your reservoir first to see that your oil is still there. So, example, how you can know that this is no good, you mash your brake, and you had a stop sign or something, or you had a traffic light, you feel your foot gradually going down slowly to the floor. Then what happened, you know that you're losing pressure from your system, because in here you have two pistons, one is the back and one is in the front. Okay, so, and you have a rubber that seals them, so sometimes that seal is not sealing properly. What it's doing is releasing back the fluid back in the reservoir, and you're gonna have your pedal is gonna be soft. So that way you know that you will have to replace this one. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it bleeding, because you didn't disconnect any line or something, so you shouldn't have air in your system, and you should replace this one. Okay, and that should fix the softness and your brake pedal. Okay, so that is the trick to really test and check your brake for your ABS system if you don't have a computer or a scanner to check it. But it's gonna take some time for you to get to all four wheel. And as long as you check, like I said, you check for voltage, you check for resistance from the sensor, and you check for voltage from the ABS module. And you should have 12 volt on each wheel, and you should have resistance on each wheel. So if you have that, then you know that there is an internal problem. Then you have to check your computer. I might say miscommunication with your computer to your module, because remember, this is two systems. This is its own system, and the computer have its own system. Okay, so they both work with each other. So you can have a problem with your computer that's not giving the signal to your module here, so you have a different problem. So you have to know where your problem is coming from. Okay, and that you're gonna need a scanner to get to do that, because you can only do the minimum by trying to eliminate the bearing, that the bearing is fine and your signal from your module is there. But whenever you're missing a signal, then you have to check to see along the line if the wire is broken or the wire is corrosion. So that's the only way. And if you get it to more complicated, then you'll have to take it to a garage or someone who do electrical work to solve the problem for you. Then it's way bigger than you anticipated. So that is the trick to check your ABS system without a scanner. Subscribe to my channel and like, and there will be a lot more interesting video come.